The moment I smelled rosemary and thyme drifting out of that dining room, I already knew I was about to be robbed again. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared me for walking in on Thanksgiving and seeing my little sister wearing what was left of my dead grandmother's wedding dress turned into a crop top and a mini skirt. And on her finger, a $3,800 diamond I didn't buy. With my credit card. That was the exact second something inside me snapped clean in half, and the revenge began. If you've ever had family treat you like a walking ATM while they trashed everything you loved, stay until the end. Because what I did next left them literally freezing in the dark, and I have never slept better. Smash the like button right now if you're ready for ice-cold justice, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's get into it. The smell hits me first. Rosemary, thyme, garlic, expensive red wine breathing on the sideboard. The kind of Thanksgiving spread that costs more than most people's rent. All of it paid for by me, naturally. I'm standing in the doorway of my parents' Naperville dining room, watching my father carve the turkey with the slow, theatrical precision of a man who still thinks he's the king of something. The chandelier glitters off the Wedgwood china my grandmother left me. The silver gleams. Everything is perfect. Everything is hollow. My mother waves a manicured hand. Quinn, darling, come sit. I take the empty chair. My chair. The one nobody ever saved for me because they knew I'd show up anyway. Savannah bounces in wearing something that makes the air leave my lungs in one painful rush. Crop top. Mini skirt. Vintage Chantilly lace, the floral pattern so delicate it survived a transatlantic crossing in a trunk in 1952. My grandmother's wedding lace. The dress that was vacuum sealed and locked in the cedar chest upstairs. The dress that was supposed to be mine. She twirls. 24 years old and completely oblivious. You like it? I had it made custom. Found this amazing vintage lace just rotting away upstairs. Honestly, Quinn, the chest was locked, but it was just sitting there. Rotting. Sitting there. Then I see the diamond. Huge, perfect, catching every ray of chandelier light like it's screaming, look at me. She squeals and thrusts her hand toward my father. Jax and I have an announcement. We're engaged. My phone vibrates against the table. $3,800. Cartier. Authorized user, Savannah Porter. The room tilts. I grip the edge of the table just to feel something solid while the rest of me fractures. My father raises his glass, my wine, bought with my account, and grins like he just closed $1 million deal. Congratulations, sweetheart. Jax, welcome to the family. I wait. I wait for someone to say something about the dress, about the ring, about the fact that my sister just charged an engagement ring on my card without even asking. Instead, my father looks at me, really looks at me for the first time all night, and says, "Don't be jealous, Quinn. Be happy for your sister." Jealous. The word detonates inside my chest. 6 months earlier, I was in the ER with a ruptured appendix, alone on a gurney in a paper gown, calling my mother because I was scared and in pain and needed someone. Party music in the background. Her irritated voice, "Quinn, your card declined at Nordstrom. Can you fix it? I'm in the middle of lunch." Not "Are you okay? Not do you need me? Just fix the card." And now this. I stand up so fast my chair screams against the hardwood. The sound echoes like a verdict. I look straight at Jax, gelled hair, fake tan, amateur DJ smile, and I say, calm as death, "That's a beautiful ring. 3.8 carats. Excellent clarity." I turn my phone so he can see the fraud alert. My Amex just flagged it. Savannah's mouth falls open. "You're being dramatic." I grab my coat, black wool, tailored, the kind of armor you buy when you finally realize no one else is going to protect you. "Enjoy your dinner," I say. "I'm sure the pie will be delicious." My mother's voice chases me to the door. "Quinn Alexandra Porter, you sit back down this instant." But I'm already walking. Already done. In the driveway, I sit in my running car, hands shaking on the steering wheel. The house glows behind me, warm golden windows, picture-perfect lie. I don't cry. I open my banking app and start making a list. Every recurring payment. Every authorized user. Every invisible chain tying me to that house and the people inside it. My phone buzzes. "Savannah, What the fuck is your problem? You're ruining everything. I delete it without answering. Then I hover over freeze card. One tap. That's all it takes. I press it. The drive back to Chicago feels shorter than it should. My apartment building rises out of the loop like a fortress, steel and glass and blessed anonymity. Nobody here knows my family. Nobody here wants anything from me except rent, which I pay on time every month without being asked. I park underground, take the elevator to the 14th floor, hands finally steady. The shaking stopped somewhere around Oak Park. What replaced it is colder. Cleaner. Inside my apartment, I don't turn on the lights. The city glow through the windows is enough. I drop my coat on the sofa and go straight to my laptop at the dining table, the table I bought myself, the table I assembled myself, the life I built without asking them for a single dollar. First, credit cards. American Express, freeze, remove Savannah. Visa, freeze, remove all authorized users. MasterCard, same. Each click feels like changing the locks while they're still inside. My phone starts exploding. I silence it without looking. Let them wonder. Let them panic when the next transaction declines. Next, recurring payments. The $4,200 mortgage that's been bleeding me dry for 3 years. Cancel. Confirm. Cable and internet. $179 a month so dad can watch golf and mom can post filtered photos pretending she's still the woman who married a successful broker instead of a man who hasn't closed a deal since 2008. Cancel. Confirm. I lean back and listen to the silence. This is what peace sounds like. No demands. No guilt trips. No little sister ransacking my past for Instagram content. But something nags at the edge of my mind. I pull up my credit monitoring account. Experian loads slowly, and then the red flag is sitting at the top like a bomb someone left on my doorstep. New account opened. SBA loan. $45,000. Business name, Savannah Porter Entertainment. My throat closes. I read it again. 4 months ago. My social security number. My credit. And on the signature page, handwriting I'd recognize blindfolded. My father's precise block letters. The ones he uses on contracts. The ones he thinks look professional. $45,000 of federal debt in my name for a business that will never exist because Savannah has the attention span of a goldfish and the work ethic of a trust fund baby, which she isn't. Because we never had a trust fund. We had me. I stand up so fast the chair crashes backward. The sound doesn't even register. I'm pacing, heart hammering, mind racing through wire fraud, identity theft, federal crimes, plural. I grab my phone, scroll to Leo Reeves, risk management, the only person I trust with fraud this ugly. It rings twice. Quinn? It's almost midnight on Thanksgiving. I need your eyes on something. Fraud case. Personal. A pause. Send me what you've got. First thing tomorrow. Thank you. Quinn, you okay? I look around my dark apartment, at the life I built with precision and careful planning. Everything in its place. Everything under control. Except it never was it? They'd been dismantling me piece by piece while I smiled and paid the bills. I will be. I send him everything. Then I sit on the floor with my back against the couch and stare at the ceiling until the sun comes up. I don't sleep. I just watch the numbers climb higher, $145,000 I've given them over 5 years, and realize I have never once heard the words thank you. Black Friday morning. The city is quiet, everyone hunting deals I no longer have to fund. I'm still in yesterday's clothes, drinking coffee that tastes like ash when the notifications start. Transaction declined, $500, Bridal Boutique of Naperville. Transaction declined, $73, Sullivan's Bar. Transaction declined, $1,250, River North Boutique. Each buzz is a tiny firework of vicious satisfaction. Then the calls. Savannah, Mom, Dad, voicemail after voicemail. Texts, stop it, Quinn. Now. This isn't funny. Fix this. I rename her contact, defendant number 1. Then I open a blank spreadsheet and start building the ledger of my life. By noon the total sits at $145,812. I stare at it until the numbers blur. 2 weeks of silence follow. Blessed, I see silence. I go to work, I eat takeout, I run along the lakefront until my lungs burn. I wait for guilt that never comes. Then Leo drops a printed screenshot on my desk. You need to see this. TikTok. Savannah wrapped in a blanket, eyes red, fake trembling lip. Caption. Story time. When your rich sister tries to freeze your elderly parents out of jealousy, 2.3 million views and climbing. Comments call me a monster. Someone started a GoFundMe for their heating bill, $1,200 raised in 4 hours. I should rage. I should cry. Instead, I feel cold. The same temperature as the Naperville house right then, because I still have the utility app on my phone. Oil tank, 5%. They have no idea how to order a refill. Their cards are maxed. Winter is here. Then the email lands. HR, formal complaint received, allegations of harassment and elder abuse. Please schedule meeting and bring documentation. My career, my sanctuary, the one thing that was completely mine, now under attack because Savannah decided to play victim for clout. I forward it to Leo. He reads it, closes his laptop, and says, "Conference room." Now, 10 minutes later, he's spreading documents across the table like a war map. And then the bomb. Look at this date. He taps a yellow highlight. 5 years ago. The lake lot. The story I carried like a crucifix. Dad sold his Dream Lake property to pay for my college. The least I could do is help out now. Leo slides another document over. Same day the lot sold, $4.62, $60,000 lien settled with Rivers Casino. Not my tuition. Blackjack. Slots. Dad's weekend business trips. 7 years of guilt built on a lie. The guilt doesn't shatter. It corrodes. Turns into something dark and molten. Show me everything, I say. He does. Gambling debts stretching back a decade. My father hadn't sacrificed anything for me. He'd just found a new addiction to feed, and I was it. That night I draft the HR response. No emotion. Just facts, timelines, documents attached like grenades with the pins already pulled. I hit send at 4:30 p.m. At 4:32 p.m. my weather app pings. Polar vortex inbound. Wind chill to -40 degrees Fahrenheit. I open the utility app one last time. Oil tank, 2%. I close it. The ghost of old guilt whispers. I tell it to shut the hell up. 3 days later my mother texts me a photo of my grandmother's 3-strand Mikimoto pearls with the message, "Found this. Shame if I had to pawn it for heating oil since you're trying to murder us." That isn't a plea. It's a declaration of war. I reply with 5 words, "I'm coming over. Don't sell." 3 dots. Then, "Bring your credit card." I don't answer. I open a new tab and start building the weapon that will end this forever. First I form an LLC, Porter Property Holdings, anonymous registration, $150. Done in 12 minutes. Then I call Marcus, the cash buyer who flips distressed houses before breakfast. I tell him I have a very motivated seller in Naperville. He laughs when I say I want it structured so the sellers never see my name. Sight unseen, cash, 30-day close, 22% below market. He's in. Leo and I spend 3 straight nights turning every stolen dollar into evidence. 23 pages of federal fraud, the SBA loan with Dad's handwriting circled in red, casino liens, 5-year ledger, defamation screenshots, pre-filled police reports. We print 15 full-color sets on heavy cardstock at FedEx office. The clerk whispers, "Good luck," when he hands me the box. I buy a portable printer, a leather portfolio, and a voice-activated recorder small enough to hide in my bra. Marcus stays on standby, phone on speaker the entire time I'm in that house, recording everything. The night before I drive out, I sit on my bedroom floor and take the pearls out of their velvet box. I hold them against my throat and look in the mirror. For the first time, I don't see the dutiful daughter. I see the owner. I sleep 4 hours. Wake up calm. The polar vortex has arrived. Temperature -18 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind chill -42 degrees. Perfect. I dress like I'm going to a boardroom execution. Black cashmere turtleneck, tailored trousers, long black wool coat, hair in a low knot sharp enough to cut glass. Armor. The drive takes twice as long, roads glazed, plows losing the fight. Every mile I rehearse the order of slides in my head. I pull into the driveway. The house looks smaller. Curtains drawn against the cold. Single set of footprints in the snow. Nobody is left in days. I grab the box, the portfolio, my laptop bag. Don't knock. He still works, for now. The second I open the door, the cold hits me. Not winter cold. House cold. Breath fogging, bones seeping, 50 degrees inside. They're huddled in the living room around a $79 ceramic space heater, orange coils glowing like a campfire in hell. Dad in his Brooks Brothers coat over pajamas. Mom in her Burberry trench, knees bouncing. Savannah on the couch in huge G's and a puffer, engagement ring still on like a life raft. Dad speaks first, voice thick with indignation. About time you came to your senses. I don't answer. I walk straight to the 65-inch TV they bought on my card, AirPlay my phone. The Apple logo blooms huge and white. Mom shrills, Elias, stop her. I turn slow, meet every pair of eyes, and say the first words I've spoken to them in person in over a month. I'm showing you what happens next. Slide 1. SBA loan, $45,000, my SSN, Dad's handwriting circled in red. Dad stands so fast the recliner rocks. Quinn, let's talk reasonably. Sit. Down. He sits. Next slide. Casino lien, $60,000, same day as the mythical lake lot sale. Mom makes a sound like air escaping a punctured lung. Savannah whispers, what is she talking about? Shut up, Savannah. Next slide. Defamation draft, her crying TikTok frozen on screen, 4.7 million views. Next slide. Pre-filled police report, cursor blinking on the signature line. Silence stretches until it hurts. Then I speak, slow, calm, surgical. You sell this house. You pay back the $45,000 loan. You pay back every dollar of the $145,812 you stole from me. Or I hit send on every report right now and the FBI comes knocking before the weekend. Wire fraud. Identity theft. Federal time. All three of you. Dad tries the old bluff, voice shaking. You won't destroy your own family. I smile. It feels sharp and perfect. Under federal law, I have 30 days to report identity theft and be removed from liability. Today is day 29. I play the bank voicemail on speaker confirming exactly that. Dad's face collapses. Mom starts crying real tears, the ugly kind. I slide the purchase agreement across the coffee table. Fortunately, there's already a cash buyer. Quick close, $625,000. You'll clear enough to pay me back and maybe rent a one-bedroom in Aurora if you're frugal. 48 hours to sign. Dad's mouth opens, closes. We can't sell that fast. You can. And you will. Mom reaches for me, fingers clutching air. Quinn, sweetie, where are your parents? I step back. You stopped being my parents the day you taught me love had a price tag. I unplug my laptop, take the pearls off the side table where Mom laid them out like bait, slip them into my pocket. I'd suggest you start packing. Dad's voice cracks at the door. Quinn, we're still your family. I look back at the three of them huddled around that pathetic heater in the house I used to call home. No, I say. You were my creditors. And the debt is now due. The door closes with a soft, final click. Outside, the wind howls like it's cheering. They sign on the 47th hour. Closing happens 3 weeks later on the coldest day of the year. I watch the Zoom feed from my office while Dad's hand shakes so badly he has to initial pages twice. Mom sobs into a mascara-soaked tissue. Savannah isn't even there. When the wire hits my account, $612,942 after fees and loan payoff, I stare at the new balance until the numbers stop looking real. Then I send the email I drafted the night they signed. Subject: Leaseback extension request. Dear former owners, your request for a 30-day extension is denied. Vacate within 48 hours. Additionally, the landlord does not rent to individuals who destroy irreplaceable family heirlooms. Regards, Quinn A. Porter, sole member and manager. Porter Property Holdings, LLC. 23 minutes later my phone explodes. I listen to 4 seconds of Savannah screaming, then block all 3 numbers forever. 2 days later, I drive out to the empty house. Moving truck in the driveway, 2 guys loading the last pieces that weren't sold to cover credit card debt. The heat is blasting. I refilled the tank the day I closed. Thermostat 72 degrees Fahrenheit. It feels obscene. I walk upstairs to my old bedroom. The cedar chest sits there, lid hanging open like a broken jaw. Empty. I kneel, take the Mikimoto pearls from my coat pocket, and lay them gently on the cedar bottom. They glow like moonlight on snow. I close the lid. The sound is final. A month later, I'm meeting Leo at the diner near the office to sign the final docs transferring the house from the LLC into my name. He's late. I'm early. I slide into a booth and there she is. Savannah. Yellow uniform, name tag crooked, hair in a limp ponytail, no extensions, no ring. Carrying a coffee pot that clearly weighs more than her ego used to. She hasn't seen me yet. She walks over, order pad out, eyes on the floor. When she looks up, the coffee pot trembles. What are you doing here? Coffee. Black. She pours, hands shaking, coffee sloshes onto the saucer. You can't be here. It's a public diner, Savannah. Her lip trembles. You ruined everything. Jack's left. Mom and Dad are in a 1-bedroom in Aurora. The walls are so thin I can hear them argue about money every night. Do you even care? I look at her, really look. 24 years old, working an honest job for the first time, and she still hates me for it. I take a slow sip. Terrible coffee. Perfect. Good, I say. She stares like she didn't hear right. You want to know if I care? I continue, voice low. I cared when I was 24 and working 70-hour weeks to keep the lights on in that house. I cared when I ate plain oatmeal so you could have highlights. I cared when I paid for the engagement ring you charged the day you cut up Grandma's dress. Her eyes fill with real tears this time. I didn't know. You never asked. I lay exact change on the table, no tip, then take the receipt and write across the top in careful block letters, for the dress restoration fund. I stand, button my coat. She watches me, mouth open, nothing left to say. Outside, the January wind cuts like a blade. It slices through wool, through skin, straight to the bone. But for the first time in my entire life, I am not cold. I am warm. That house is mine now. I don't live in it. I don't rent it. I just own it. Some days I drive out, sit in the empty living room, and listen to how quiet a house can be when nobody is asking you for anything. The cedar chest still sits in my old bedroom. The pearls are still inside. Sometimes I open it just to smell the cedar and remember who I was before I learned that family can be the most expensive mistake a person ever makes. I kept the pearls. I kept the house. I kept my name, my credit, my future, my peace. And I kept the one lesson they never meant to teach me. When someone shows you over and over that love is just another word for debt, the kindest thing, the most merciful thing you can do, is foreclose. If this story hit you somewhere deep, if you've ever been the family bank, the family doormat, the family fix-it, drop a like right now. Tell me in the comments the moment you realized someone was using you and you decided enough was enough. I read every single one. And if you want more ice-cold, no mercy revenge stories that end exactly the way they should, hit subscribe, ring that bell, because next week we're back with another one that will leave you speechless. Stay warm out there, guys. Or don't. Sometimes the cold is the only thing that finally sets you free. See you in the next one.